Well, good Friday morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. I'm Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on? You're already shaking your
I'm
head.
about to bitch slap this little boy over here.
Oh.
It's Friday. We'll do a little Friday free for all. We're going to talk everything. I mean, we got some NFL news, we got some drama, we got some wrestling. Busy weekend in the wrestling world. We'll have our boy Chris Flail. It is Friday, so of course Chris Flail will join us at 8:00. No breaks needed. That guy is awesome, and I hope he is listening. But my favorite brewing company in town will also be joining us at 8:30. Kyle Pittser from Dionysus Brewing.
They're turning 10.
Yes, which is insane.
I didn't even realize it's been 10 years, if I'm being honest with you. But I have heard of them long before I actually was able to go there. And let's just say I give myself grief every time I go into that place just because it took me so long to actually go and try his beer.
Yes,
it is good stuff. That dang good.
And it's always revolving, new drinks, new that. But he's got a 10-year celebration coming up. Plus, I'm sure now that he is the official brewery viewing, whatever, he's going to have the PLE. That's all I'm going to say.
He actually has all of the contracts needed to be able to play
officially. But we'll get into all sorts of things, and you can get whatever's off your chest by calling or texting in anytime, 661-842-2000.
I don't know where I want to start today, my friend, because there's a ton going on. Obviously, the combine has been going, and there's a lot of interesting stories out of that.
Yeah, my Dolphins.
Yeah, your Dolphins winning the NFLPA survey, essentially.
Third year in a row, baby.
At least you know that the people would want to go play there, because that's the whole point, right? That's why they release these things, so players know what they're getting into when they consider certain teams to sign with. Now the NFL has filed a grievance and won that grievance, and
they don't want it. They don't want it out in the public. It's bad publicity.
Hey, it's in the public though. Yeah. That's the beauty of it, is they just can't release it to us directly, but they can release it to all 2,000 plus players, and the players can share it.
Why do you think that?
Because it hurts the league. It hurts when it
shows the good and the bad.
Kind of, but I think it's kind of like baseball. Okay. A lot of teams in baseball get a lot of grief because of ownership and how it's run, if it's run properly. And that really is what all of this is the NFL is a big organization that has a whole bunch of branches, and each branch is a different building that you can go work in, and you're interviewing to go work for that building. So obviously they want everybody to believe every single one of those branches is just as strong as the last one. But is it really? We all know that some of these teams aren't being run correctly. We talk about it ad nauseum when it comes to teams like Cleveland or Cincinnati. So we all know that these teams are not equal and have not been held equal. But yeah, that the only reason I could see the NFL at least filing a grievance and telling them, hey, you can't do this anymore. You shouldn't.
Trying to protect the shield.
Yeah, you're just trying to protect the shield and trying to protect the league, which I understand and I get. But at the same time, we're gonna figure out this information anyway.
Right.
I don't know why you would like
with the Dolphins. I know the Vikings, and I think who was the third team?
Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders were the top three. The bottom three were the Cardinals, the Browns, and then at the very bottom, the Steelers. And I did hear, what is the banana guy on our show, on our station?
Drake Toll.
Yeah, he was talking about it this morning. He said that he got more details out of the Pittsburgh. He's got a friend that plays for the Steelers, and he said that, it's just old. It's an old building.
Yeah.
Old stuff broken, and they haven't put any money into the practice fields, any of it. And he said the other thing that really stood out was they have five, count them, all 5 toilets. And you have a team with over 80 players.
And there's only 5. Okay.
I was like, okay, well, I can understand that. It probably pisses off some players because a lot of these are voted from players, former players, the NFLPA, blah, 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 blah.
But without knowing this information, without it being shared to the players, They have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Exactly.
All you're going to show them is exactly what everybody shows on social media, all the best stuff you can think of. You're not going to be showing them the truth. So this is necessary, in my opinion. Now, granted, should it be sent to the public and everybody know how good or bad these things are seen? Probably not. But if you share it to the players, it's going to get to the media. If it gets to the media, it's going to get to the public.
It's just a business. I
Yes.
mean, just like anyone that, bashes on certain donut shops or Yelp. I mean, it's other things. People like certain things. And I think if the NFL really wanted to protect the shield, they would get into this jock tax and other things that are
Right.
really hurting the players
Right.
as well as the business.
The
But
fact that
it's $1 billion,
I'm just
probably
shocked.
close to trillion.
From what I keep reading, especially when it comes to that jock tax, you get a bonus for playing and winning in the Super Bowl, and most of those Seattle players ended up having to pay. So all of that bonus went to the payment. I'm pretty sure most of you people who just got your taxes would hate if the government just said, hey, by the way, there's a tax on your tax. We're going to take all that tax.
Yeah, we're going to double tax.
We're going to tax your refund.
But hey, at the end of the day, if you're walking away with the Lombardi and a ring, I'm sure
they're happy about it at the end of the day. But
hey,
still.
we've talked about it. Players are pissed. They don't want to play in California.
No, and they shouldn't.
That's where I think the NFL really should step up, whether it's getting politicians under their belt or whatever they need to do.
Thinking about it, because you're right. I mean, on the long list of problems that the NFL really has to deal with every single offseason, the survey seems like it's very low on that list. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, when it comes to the survey, wouldn't it be, I mean, does anybody else kind of feel like the NFL is too big to really hurt from this anyway?
Right.
Like, I don't necessarily think the NFL is going to be getting the brunt of the punishment when we hear that the Cardinals, front office is awful, or the training facility is terrible, or like we just heard from Toll that the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't put money into any of the facilities in years, which honestly, I could have probably told you that. They're a very old school team, and that's just how things roll. I'm sure they'll probably upgrade it, especially after this, because this is just bad PR for the team. But that's my point. It's bad PR for the team, not necessarily for the league.
Yeah, and it's not like at the end of the day, any of these 32 teams are going to have a problem filling a roster.
Right. That's the other thing. It's like these guys are all going to be taking a job somewhere. They're not going to, they're not going to say no. But I just think that this is fair criticism, to be honest, and a fair survey to do so these players know what the hell they're getting themselves into. I mean, maybe I'm biased too, though. Atlanta damn near had an A in every single category except for coaching, and we fixed that this year. So, but again,
Did you?
I mean, I hope so. We at least got to keep the 1A at defensive coordinator. I'll take that.
I know the one coach that you guys brought in, you weren't a big fan of.
No, I'm not, but I'm trying to stay positive, Sparky. I'm trying to stay positive.
It's Friday. Do you want to get that crazy ass story off your
You know what? Yeah,
let's
get it out of the way as well, because I saw this morning. I don't know if a lot of fans saw this yet, but it is a developing story. But Terrion Arnold, the defensive back for the Detroit Lions, has been connected, not arrested, but connected to a really weird story out there. I actually can't even remember where it was. I should find my phone and get the actual story in front of me. But Terrion Arnold, the cornerback, has been connected to a string of kidnapping charges to a couple of his friends that has to do with an incident that happened at a Airbnb that he rents. Apparently, back in February, one of his Airbnbs was burglarized twice, and over $100,000 was stolen in cash, an $80,000 necklace, a whole bunch of pristine handbags. I don't know why you even have this in a house that you're renting out anyway.
Was my question.
It's kind of weird, but regardless, this happened in Tampa, Florida, and associates of Terrion's went out of their way.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, associates. Because again, Terrion has not been arrested for this. I don't know if he's going to be. I doubt it, because again, he just really owns the property. But I mean, they reported it. They had an idea of who it could be, because obviously with Airbnb, you know who's staying at the houses, or you're supposed to at least, so you have some sort of paper trail of who stayed there. They believe it was a former guest that stayed at the house. And instead of letting the authorities do what they're supposed to do, a couple of Tarian's associates, a Mr. Helton, who's 23, and a slew of other individuals who range from 19 to 22, all decided to take it upon themselves to essentially kidnap and interrogate the men that were staying at the Airbnb by luring them into Hilton's one of the men's apartment. I think it was Hilton's apartment. One of the men's apartment with that man's girlfriend, who was being flirted with by one of the individuals that was renting the Airbnb. They got jumped, were pistol whipped, interrogated, and even, I guess, guns were put in some of the men's mouths, threatening to kill them if they didn't give up the information on who burglarized the place and where the stuff is and returning the stuff. Regardless, instead of waiting for the authorities to do what they should have done, now all of these individuals, including Mr. Helton, are facing serious kidnapping charges that could see them in jail, well, at least Hilton in jail for life, because they, for over an hour, kidnapped, interrogated, and beat the ever-living crap out of these guys. 3 individuals with guns, ARs, handguns, from what we understand. Regardless, it all is just a terrible story. I hope Tarian has nothing to do with this and we don't see him, get wrapped into all of this. From what I understand, the only thing that connects him to this is the rented apartment. Or I'm sorry, the Airbnb, not the apartment, the Airbnb. That's
and
the
as a
only
person
thing
that's had his house broken into and personal items been stolen, and I mean, I understand what you would want to do, but there is a line in law for a reason. I get it, but I just hope. I mean, luckily nobody was seriously injured, but there is going to be somebody that has to pay for this.
And to add insult to injury, they robbed the 3 guys on the way out.
Of course.
They took their wallets and all of that. So Hilton is facing 3 charges of kidnapping. I'm sorry, let me read this specifically so I have it right. Kidnapping to harm or terrorize, and 3 counts of robbery with a firearm, all first-degree felonies. So this dude is most likely going to jail for his life. He pled not guilty. They even went to a point where they were FaceTiming him during the interrogation, and he was heard saying, "I'll be there in 20 minutes." So the victims know the voice of the man who at least was putting this on. From what they understand, it was Mr. Helton or Hilton, whatever.
So let me get this right. So a couple people, they rent out an Airbnb
that is owned by Tarian Arnold. Yes,
I'm sure they did. They rented it a few times, right?
From what I understand, it was just once, but the place was burglarized twice.
Okay, so they scoped the place out, they rented it out, went back, robbed it a couple times.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any proof that it was the same people.
No, there's no proof that these 3 are actually connected to it at all.
So it was broken into, robbed a couple times.
Yes.
And for the facts that we have now, it was just a random group of people that located the people, set up a whole.
Well, it's not a random group. It's somebody. This group of people is connected to Tarian Arnold. They are apparently all associates or friends or whatever. The only thing that connects Tarian, though, is obviously the relationship with them, but the Airbnb. Tarian had nothing to do with the setup.
He's got ties in with them.
Yeah, exactly. He has nothing to do with the setup, though, the interrogation, the kidnapping. Tarian Arnold has nothing to do with any of that part of it, from what I understand. But again, this all stems from his Airbnb being burglarized twice over, what would you say, $200,000 worth of money and valuables were taken out of it throughout that.
Well, saying he has nothing to do with it, except he's got a tie with the people that did it.
I'm just reporting what they're saying.
Yeah.
There's no connection so far, and he has not been arrested or charged with anything, while the rest of these people have.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to get arrested or do any jail time for it, but I'm sure there'll be some fines or some type of proof. And luckily, I mean, hopefully for him, his boys don't say anything that puts him into that situation.
Well, hopefully they don't have to, because he had nothing to do with it. That's the thing. That like they have text strains from Hilton's phone that show that he set the whole thing up, that he's the one who planned the whole idea, that he got his homies to sit there at the apartment and wait for these guys. He got the 19-year-old girl to lure them in with text messages saying, "Oh, you're cute, come over," all that type of stuff. My boyfriend's not home. all it was a complete setup by Hilton himself.
Yep.
That is the main thing that is
So
being taken away
accomplice.
from this. Yeah, he's just unfortunately connected to this because of the Airbnb, and I am assuming Hilton is doing this as vendetta for Arnold.
Yeah.
Not that Arnold asked him to do this, but your homie gets robbed, you kind of know who it is, and you don't trust the cops to do the right thing for some reason, so you take matters into your own hands, because that's essentially what this was
Yep.
vigilante justice that went way too far, and this is exactly why vigilante justice is not allowed in America. And we're gonna see this guy now take a full 6 probably charges and see the rest of his life in jail at 22, 23 years old. I just this is wild. It's a wild story. I saw it in the Athletic this morning, so I had to talk about it and just get your thoughts and
That's
everybody
wild.
else's as well. 661-842-2000. What do you make of this story? Feel free to look it up in the Athletic if you would like. I don't think Terry and Arnold actually faces any major punishment for this because again, there is no viable connection to it. This all happened
Yet.
back in the early February. Yeah, and yet that's a good point. But I just this is wild to say. And I get he lost a lot of money worth of valuables and money, but again, when I read the story, the first thing that popped up in my head is why is all that in your Airbnb, bud, in Tampa,
Right.
Florida? That don't make no sense to me. None. But again, this is also the danger that you run into when you rent out your properties to Airbnb to people you don't know. And I'm sure they're not the only people that have had this kind of a thing happen to them. You stay at a real nice Airbnb and someone gets some ideas, and yeah. So it's a wild, wild story. Let us know what you guys think. I hope Terry and Arnold doesn't face any major charges or anything towards him for this.
And
But
people are stupid, man. If
oh
you're,
yeah,
you're renting out an Airbnb, they have all your information.
and the cops have no proof that the 3 men that they interrogated had anything to do with it. They just know that they stayed there. So that's really the only thing that I don't get is like you have no proof that it was these 3 guys. You just went off of a whim, dude. And now you not only ruined your life, but your homie who's an NFL football player might have to take a little bit of a punishment too because you decided to be stupid on his behalf, which is wild. But there's a lot more to get into that's on a brighter note in the world of football. So let's take a break. We'll get into that. I know you have Mel Kiper's top 10 draft picks. So we'll get into that at some point because I'm actually shocked he has Caleb Downs, a safety, at number 2. But Caleb Downs had an interview yesterday with Rich Eisen in which he dropped a line that really made me believe, you know what? This actually might be a number 2 overall pick. So we'll get into that on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Or you can watch us on video on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Please follow us on all social media platforms as well, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are all over the place. Just look up the early bird special. Uh, it is combine time. These kids have been showing out in Indianapolis. I know everybody gives grief to some of the quarterbacks for throwing and not throwing and all that. Some of them really just don't need to. I don't think Fernando Mendoza really needs to step out there and throw a football for everybody to know he's most likely the number one overall pick.
I caught Mel Kiper yesterday on NFL Live again, and he was talking about a lot of scouts are actually intrigued by a lot of these quarterbacks
Really?
and expect not Mendoza, obviously. Mendoza is probably one, and it's probably not even close. But I pulled this story from him, and he was talking about there is probably 5 quarterbacks that he expects to go higher than we originally expected.
Well, I mean, that's fair. There's always the possibility of that. Who do they have?
Well, he was talking about, there's 9-10 teams that are all looking for quarterbacks.
Sorry, before you get started, I just got ESPN coming across here. George Pickens just got hit with the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Well, which we saw
and
coming.
Is probably expected to get traded.
Yeah, which is wild because again, I don't get it. But again, I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, the other quarterbacks that obviously we talked about a little bit was the buzz around Ty Simpson.
Yep.
Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Gilbert Akoer, and now Peyton Wilson. And they said even with the workouts that they've done, he said Simpson's pulling teams over with his arm talent, playmaking instincts. Nussmeier, we've talked about his accuracy, but with 9-10 teams looking for a quarterback this year.
True. Most of these guys will get a shot. I mean, Ty has been talked about, especially when I watched him play at Alabama. They compared him to Mac Jones a little bit, but they all said he had a better arm. So that means at least you have a very mentally competent quarterback that is accurate. And if he can show that he could lead a team, I think that you could have a solid player there. I just don't know if he's a long-term starter. Same with Garrett Nussmeier. I would love to see Garrett Nussmeier step up, especially with all the grief he got towards the end of his career at LSU. But I just don't see any of these guys being long-term solutions for some of these NFL teams. I think they're all going to be great bridge quarterbacks and all guys that, will wait a year or two to figure out if you're actually going to work. But besides Fernando, I really don't think any of them are going to be long-term solutions. So maybe Ty Simpson for Pittsburgh if they end up going that direction. But the entire Pittsburgh fan base, I mean, you just heard one in here on Monday, Mr. Williams, they all want to see Howard. They all want to see if Will Howard can play. So Pittsburgh might actually just be okay with leaning on Will Howard this year and seeing how it works. And then again, when next year's talent pool comes in, because you'll have a long list of quarterbacks that are ready to go, you can just make another decision then.
That's what I think a lot of these teams are going to try the bridge, whether that's, I've heard a lot about Minnesota and Kyler Murray.
Right.
I've heard a lot of teams, just getting that bridge and not wasting a high draft pick this year on a quarterback.
Right.
Unless you're the Raiders.
Well, again, I still think there is a chance we see the Raiders trade back. I think there's going to be loomings of it. To be fair, I'm probably wrong though, and Tom and Mark have already called Mr. Mendoza and said, "Get your bags packed, kid. Find wherever the hell you're going to live. We got a suite over here at the Wynn for you if you'd like." But they're ready to bring this kid in. I just don't know if this is going to be enough. I still am under the impression that the Raiders need way more than just Fernando to turn this entire franchise around. And talking about bridge quarterbacks, the other story that really came out of yesterday was the Colts allowing Anthony Richardson to find a trade suitor. I think we all kind of saw this coming, obviously, with how much they fell in love with Daniel Jones last year. We're all still kind of trying to figure out if Daniel Jones is even going to be healthy going into next season. But with Anthony Richardson on the way out, there's probably going to be a small amount of teams that are willing to take a shot on a young, talented prospect, as it were, because that's what he is. I mean, he's not necessarily a full-fledged quarterback yet, as we've seen. But I am going to throw this out there. Atlanta might as well. Might as well. Why not? If we're going to have one project at quarterback, we might as well have two. And this guy's at least shown he's got the arm talent. Not that Michael hasn't, but he can go under center. He's fast. He can throw a football. If someone could just teach him how to play the quarterback position and read a defense, and Kevin Stefanski might be the perfect guy to do that. I'm just saying, Anthony Richardson could be the next Sam Darnold instead of Mac Jones. One of the two of them should just come over to Atlanta just in case. I'm still holding out hope that Michael Penix works out, but there is growing doubt in my heart. I am unfortunately feeling, but
I heard the same thing with Kyler yesterday, asking to be released because he feels that he would be the best vacant free agent quarterback.
He would,
but I mean, I think there's a higher upside with Kyler, but personally, I don't know how big of a market the Richardson camp will have. Because, I mean, just from what I've seen, I mean, the kid has a lot to work with.
Oh, yeah, and he's injury prone as well, which is the other issue.
And his leg work, his pocket presence, his short field accuracy. But, yeah, I think it would be one of these teams with a quarterback type coach that can, you know, teach him whether he's a practice squad player for a year or two, but let him learn.
That's my thought, is just if you could find a coach that can teach him how to be a quarterback, or at least have some pocket presence, you would have a pretty talented piece here. But again, that's also on Anthony if he can really grasp that, because that is a position that it's either you figure it out or you don't, especially at the level he's at now. If he was still in college, it'd be a completely different story. But if he is going to continue being a quarterback at the NFL level, he's got to be able to find a coach that's going to be able to work with him and is going to be able to teach him how to be that quarterback. So I'm just, again, going to throw it out here. Atlanta, if you have any doubts about Michael Penix, I wouldn't be really hurt if you threw a 5th round, 6th round draft pick Indianapolis's way for this kid. Now, let's not get crazy and give him anywhere in 2 to 3 area, but we can go low. We can go 6th rounder, 7th rounder. Absolutely. I don't see why not. You're taking a shot with him as you would with anybody in that draft or in those rounds anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be for a lot of these quarterbacks this year. I think whether it's Tua, whether it's, Richardson, Kyler, I think there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are going to get a flyer. Whether it's a 6th, 7th rounder or just the minimum, I think they'll get one more opportunity. All 3 of them. I just don't know where.
It's, that's kind of the question with everybody, though, is it doesn't necessarily fit the idea of what the NFL wants. The NFL wants the long-term quarterback staying on one team.
And Frisco came out again yesterday saying they have no intentions of trading Mac.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's probably smart. He's already learned your system and he's under contract, and your starting quarterback dealt with injuries last year.
Well, that's the point I was just about to get to, is we're kind of leading towards the era of you need 2. Yeah. You kind of need 2 quarterbacks now that could start in on the NFL level to be successful, because we've seen so many of these guys get knocked down injury wise. And I know that doesn't fit what the NFL wants. Like I was just saying, they want the long-term one quarterback with each team, the hero of the franchise, all that type of stuff, because that's easy to sell and that's easy to push marketing wise. But strategy wise in the NFL now, much like a running back position, most of these teams need to be able to know if the number 1 goes down, the number 2 needs to be just as good, or we're not going anywhere this season. So I think we're just kind of seeing a transition into more of maybe we need multiple quarterbacks on every team rather than just the one guy, unless you have a guy like obviously Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes that most likely won't be seeing the bench very often. But let's talk a little bit more about these other prospects that we are. Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State, is being put at number 2 on Mel Kiper's mock draft right now to the Jets. And it's catching a little bit of criticism. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of those people at first when I saw it. I said, really? A safety at number 2? That's pretty dang high. Safeties traditionally aren't taken that high. It's kind of like the running back position. If you have a great one, you hold on to them forever. But you could usually find a quarter or somebody that can play that position pretty well, so they aren't coveted up in the top 5 area that often. However, Caleb Downs kind of said something yesterday with Rich Eisen that made me reconsider my thoughts, because I love the mentality that this kid has in this answer. Let's play it real quick.
Mel Kiper had you in his mock draft drafted second overall. The concept that NFL teams would love you, know what a difference maker you are, you're just a safety and you can't be taken that high. How do you respond to something like that, Caleb?
At the end of the day, it's not safety, it's who affects the game. So it's who affects the game on defense, and you can affect the game in a lot of different ways. And I think if you watch my film, you see that I'm affecting the game in the box, in the deep part of the field, sometimes on special teams, whatever it takes. So yeah, I feel confident in my abilities at any point in any situation. So whatever position I get put in, it'll have to work out.
Right, but have you mentioned this to teams? Have they asked you about what I just asked you at all?
No.
Not really?
No.
Okay.
They just have a conversation with me.
All right.
Talk about ball and then go from there.
Have you met with the Raiders?
I'm not.
You're not going down this road
I'm
here?
not going down that road.
How many teams have you met with here then?
I have over a dozen interviews. Got a couple more today. So
Okay.
Got to finish it out today.
So have you met with all the teams in the top 10?
I've met with a couple teams.
Okay.
So what I love about this, it comes in two parts. The beginning of that answer, him saying it's not necessarily the position, it's who impacts the game. His composure, the way he answered this question with Rich Eisen, I could see in his mentality, this is going to be a no-miss prospect to me, outside of injuries, but that's something that nobody can really figure out. You can't predict someone's injury future. But when I heard this answer, I could see now why Mel Kiper sees him as a number 2 overall pick here in this draft, because this kid's got it. This kid's got it right in the mentality going into this, the fact that he doesn't care what the media is saying about him at all. He doesn't even care if anybody's interviewing him. He just wants to get drafted, it seems like. I like this kid. And I'm not saying that about a lot of Buckeyes. I'm really not. This kid has won me over, though. What do you think?
The Jets have plenty of holes to fill. I've never.
I don't know if safety is one of them, but
there's plenty in the secondary, but I just don't. I still think the Jets are trying to get up to 1. Personally, I think they're trying to get that Raider pick, and if anybody was going to do it, it would be a defensive-minded coach like Glenn. But even looking at the rest of Kiper's mock draft, there is a lot of talent. Obviously, in the top 10, but 4 out of the 10 are Ohio State players, and I could see any of them. Personally, I can see any of them going in the top 5. So, he's a hell of a player. I wish he was going to land more like 10, 11, but
that's traditionally where you would see a safety go, is somewhere maybe close to 9, 8 in that area. But traditionally it's about mid-round.
Yeah. The original mock drafts that Kiper he was putting him at Miami at 11.
Right. And it's a possibility that he does drop that far, because again, we just saw the Jets trade away another edge rusher yesterday. So they're obviously thinking in their head, maybe we found somebody in the draft that we like, because defensive ends did just happen to go that day as well. But I don't know. With that answer, it just won me over. I think this kid's got the right mentality, the professional mentality. And the last time I saw a safety talk like that was Kyle Hamilton. And we all see what Kyle Hamilton has been doing with the Baltimore Ravens. And put into the right situation, I think this guy could be just as impactful as Kyle is, if not more. He does make a lot, or he did, I should say, make a lot of plays with the Buckeyes. He was, I would say, probably the best defensive player they had on that defense last year. And that's saying something, because as Sparky was just saying, a lot of these defensive players that are going to be going in the first round are all from Ohio State.
Yeah, I like their linebackers.
Absolutely. But I don't know. Like I much like everybody else, when I saw that Caleb Downs was number 2 on his mock draft, I said, that's a little high. But after hearing that answer with Rich Eisen, and obviously Rich trying to get any answer out of him, and no Raider fans, he didn't say if he talked to the Raiders either, I was just won over. I could not believe. I was like, this kid gets it. this is going to be a no-miss prospect. I'm going to put my stamp on it right now. Caleb Downs might be the best defensive player to come out of this draft. And honestly, if you're the Jets, you need no-miss prospects. You really do. You can't afford to be missing anymore. It has become embarrassing. Most of these franchises have already turned around and fell again before you've even figured it out. So if I'm the Jets and you're not getting a Fernando Mendoza, Caleb Downs actually might not be the worst one. It may not. I don't know. But that's just my personal opinion. Is there anybody else?
I like Reese.
You like Reese?
I like Reese, the linebacker out of Ohio State. But, I mean, like I said, the top 10, they've got 4 Ohio State Buckeyes. And I know this draft is huge on edge players, huge on linebackers, and huge on wide receivers. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kiper hits it and all 4 of them are in the top 7 or 8 picks.
As I have, experienced in my life, Mel Kiper continues to be the authority in all things draft. I don't understand it, but this man has a brain that works like nobody else's, and he hits every single time. Nobody is closer, in my opinion, in his mock drafts than Mel Kiper is. So I believe it. And I just can't believe, though, that this might be the first time I've seen a safety go number 2. I can't remember the last time. And if I'm wrong, please feel free to tighten me up, because there are drafts that I don't remember, obviously.
Yeah,
exactly
I still think, it's super early, and there's going to be a lot of trade talk. There's going to be a lot of players that surprise some scouts. And it's still the pre, combine mock draft. So, he's going to put out another one here in a week or so after the combine. So I just hope he doesn't go to the Jets personally. Tommy
Gunn just mentioned in our YouTube and made me laugh. He said the Raiders will trade out of number 1 and draft Cornell Lake. Honestly, I hope not. I hope you're wrong, but that is something that the Raiders would do, to be completely honest with you. But shifting over to the other major player in this draft that everybody's talking about, and I'm not sure if he's going to go this high, but God, if he goes at number 9, I'm going to cry.
I knew you were going to bring him up.
Jeremiah Love, best running back in the draft, easily. Best running back in football in the NCAA last year for Notre Dame. A consistent threat. Never, ever has fumbled a football. You can look that up. He has 0 fumbles. And if this dude drops to number 9, I'm telling you guys, this is the one time I am praying and looking at the camera. Saints, take him, please. Please. Alvin Kamara's retiring, isn't he? Or he's leaving soon. Take him. I cannot see this guy next to Patrick Mahomes for the next 10 to 15. No way in hell. You're going to sit there and tell me you could have the NFL's leading rusher and its best quarterback in the backfield at the same time? No. No. We're talking about not wanting to see the Patriots. I do not need to see that backfield. Hell no. What's your thoughts?
I just don't think it'll be that big of a shock. I still think Kansas City is trying to clean up some salary cap, because they have, I know Mahomes is Mahomes, and no one knows when he's going to be healthy, even to play this season. And I think they're still a running back away. I still think they're a couple players away from being the Chiefs of what we usually are used to, depending on the offensive line. But personally, I saw that mock draft and I was like, okay, originally they had him in the top 5. So I still think he goes higher than in 9. I still think he gets picked up earlier.
I am praying.
And looking at the teams, I'm like, yeah, I could see the Jets if they don't lock in Breece Hall. I can see other teams like Cleveland or even the Saints. You know what I mean? There's several teams, and if the Chiefs pass on him, he'll be a Cincinnati Bengal.
Oh God. I can't see that. I can see that. I just don't want to see that. If the Kansas City Chiefs somehow get the opportunity to draft this kid at number 9,
and they always find a way to.
They always do. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to trade up with the Saints or somebody just to get this kid. I really wouldn't be shocked at that at all. And for Kansas City Chief fans too, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a tight end to take over for Travis after this year as well, because there is still a chance that Travis comes back. Let's see what happens after the wedding.
I know
But
Andy came out and said they're trying to find a contract that will fit him for one more year. I've also seen that they are super high on a lot of these receivers, so I wouldn't be shocked if they took another receiver and in the first round.
Oh, there are a ton that would really fit the Patrick Mahomes style. They would need to, but I don't know. I think with the guy like Jeremiah Love, that is the no-hit prospect, just like I'm talking about with Caleb Downs at number 2. I cannot see any team not trying to take this guy out of the top 10. There's so many that need a running back. And in today's football, as we've seen the last couple of years, running backs are becoming more and more coveted again. That's a good thing. We just saw Kenneth Walker win the MVP of the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley had his entire record-breaking season just a year ago. Bijan Robinson has been an absolute game changer for the Falcons. So with that being the case, I can't see anybody not taking him in the top 10, especially just knowing how good this kid is. Just not the Chiefs. Please, God, not the Chiefs. I don't need to see that happen again. Please. Can we get 1 or 2 years of the Chiefs not being good before we get a resurgence from Patrick Mahomes? Is that too much to ask for? Let's take a break. We'll get into a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of news out of the world of wrestling, as well as Elimination Chamber is set to get underway on Saturday, live from Chicago, Illinois, even though the Bears may not be there very much longer. And CM Punk is getting ready to take on Finn Balor. I saw some interesting words from him ahead of their match. And Jacob Fatu came out in defense of his cousin, Jey Uso, because apparently there were over 20,000 dislikes on Jay's video of winning his match to get into the Elimination Chamber as well. So the Samoan bloodline not very happy with the internet right now. We'll get into all that before our guests of the day, as Chris Flail gets in here at 8 o'clock and Kyle Pittser at 8:30. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Gotcha. Had me for a sec there. I was like, welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Before we shift into wrestling, did you see this? That the NCAA is trying to create bigger penalties for teams and coaches that circumvent the rules on the transfer portal. Apparently, on Wednesday, they proposed a legislation to penalize schools who add players who did not make public their interest in transferring during the January transfer portal window. We've had a slew of teams or schools in general sue some of these athletes because they are transferring. I believe Cincy is currently going through something with their quarterback where they're suing him for $1 million because of it. So I think this is just the NCAA saying, we got to do something to stop these kids from transferring, or at least these coaches from poaching these kids so often, because this is becoming a major problem. Massive problem. So hopefully they'll be able to figure that out and some sort of legislation will come down that'll help them be able to do that. But until that is actually a thing, these kids are going to continue to bounce around from school to school because there's really no penalty for doing so.
No structure
whatsoever. In the world of wrestling, though, since Elimination Chamber is this weekend on Saturday, I'm excited. But we were right, but we were wrong. Or at least I was right. I'm sorry, I was wrong, technically. I was wrong. AJ Styles is staying in the world of wrestling, so I was right there, but not as a wrestler. He just signed a contract with the WWE, and he'll be taking a backstage presence, or at least a backstage job with them. I'm assuming as a coach, maybe a producer or a writer. Would love to see a fresh face in there in the writing room, potentially to mix things up and get some better storylines in here. What do you think AJ is going to do there, my friend?
I have no idea.
No clue.
Personally, I have no clue.
Well, I mean, again, he is one of the best technical wrestlers in this generation. So I would assume maybe it has something to do with that. Or like I said, maybe coaching some of these guys, as a lot of the main roster does. I know Ivar is one of their on-hand coaches, and he has done wonders with a lot of the young talent that the WWE has. So maybe they have put him in more of a coaching role in the background. But as of right now, at least it's good to see that the Phenomenal One will not be leaving the world of wrestling per se. And he still gets his time with his family, which was the main reason why he stepped away. I was listening to the Busted Open guys the other day, and they were bringing up the same thing that I was thinking, is there's a little bit of hope here, especially with the Gunther opening and all of that, that maybe he's not going anywhere. And there's still a big piece of me that believes that we may see something at the Hall of Fame ceremony. I think Gunther stands up and ruins the Hall of Fame ceremony for AJ and for John, because obviously he's the one who retired both of them. And then that's going to force AJ's hand, and we may get one more match out of him. Maybe, who knows? But again, that's just me being a fan in the pipe dream being put out there into the ether. As of right now, though, your Elimination Chamber matches sit as follows. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, LA Knight, and Jey Uso will be the men's. I'm not sure if that's going to lead off the show or not. I would assume that's probably going to be the main event. And our guy Tommy Gunn in the YouTube chat as well says that video for Jey Uso winning, 73% disliked. Y'all act as if you don't yeet with him every time he comes out. And, you don't enjoy his just demeanor. I mean, this guy lightens up the room every time he walks into it.
I'm over it.
Are you really?
I've been over it. But I mean, it's one of those things, if you're not in the building.
Yeah, you really don't feel the energy. That's fair. Absolutely.
I mean, if you're there, you could feel it. If not, you're watching it. I'm like,
I'm over the running it back. The running it back part, I'm like, okay, dude, we get it. Like, you can do this whenever you want, kind of a thing.
But it goes right with what I was saying. It's the vibe.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what he brings, though. I mean, we've talked about it on this show. The main thing that guy brings to the product itself is his vibe and his just energy to the product. So it's not going to stop at any point in time, in my opinion. And the women's match, you have Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Kiana James, and I am forgetting Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton will be the other one as well. I know you're hoping for your girl Asuka this year, my friend, but
Raquel would be nice.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna ride with this idea that Raquel wins and sneaks her way into that Stephanie match.
She does.
I think that'd be a great
it's about time.
Yeah, and it'd just be a great way to throw everything on its head too. And you still leave open a Jade Cargill match with whomever you have planned. So we'll hear about all of that on Monday as well. We got to get to our guests of the day. Chris Flail will be in here momentarily. And then we'll have Kyle Pittser from Dionysus Brewing as they celebrate their 10-year anniversary. Plus, obviously, WWE pay-per-view means he'll be open and there for a viewing party. So if you have any desire to go down there and check him out or just go watch some WWE, Kyle Pittser has what you need. We'll take a break. We'll get to that and much more on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. We're also streaming video live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch every single morning from 7 to 9. You can go back and watch all of our old episodes as well. But it is a Friday, so obviously the beautiful Chris Flail is here.
Love to be back with you, boys. Thanks for having me. Great, smooth first hour. And must I say, as the pinnacle WWE show and station, how smoothly to transition from buttery smooth draft coverage to threatening to fight your producer, which is a tremendous thing that you don't get with every show.
I missed that one.
Oh, didn't you start off by saying, I'm going to slap this kid? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You talk about the guy behind him.
He's not
talking about me.
This is a real,
I was confused. I was like, wait, what?
No, this is a real wrestling show. Tremendously done.
He's still asking for it.
You two have been.
It's in the air.
Back and forth in
share
that
a
room
studio with
all
somebody.
week. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely
Especially
true.
a Scott Cox producer.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been there.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
For the listeners, he's giving you a strong look like he's ready to go. Like they're opening his chamber glass right now.
Right,
we need to shift the
I made
camera
him
back
joke.
over to that side and just make Dawson a part of the show at this point. Good to see you, sir.
Great to be back. Thank you guys for having
You
me.
excited for Elimination Chamber?
Very pumped. Pumped for SmackDown tonight because my predictions are going to kind of waver based on how SmackDown goes tonight. I especially with the women's chamber. My heart says Rhea Ripley, but I'm really curious to see what happens with this tag title match.
Because there are so many women in there that do have a tag team right now. I feel like they're going to utilize that and just everybody that's in a tag team is going to get some sort of push towards that at Mania, while we see maybe Tiffy and Raquel fight it out for the actual spot on a championship match or at a championship match.
Well, tonight, if I'm not mistaken, are the belts on the line with Rhea Io versus Nia and Lash Legend?
Yep.
And to me, Nia and Lash Legend are a perfect tag team title team. I mean,
when's the last time we had a true two big tag team? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like two bigs on the same team and just running shop on everybody.
That looks unbeatable and is a
Charlotte
tough matchup.
And
Alexa
Bliss, yeah.
Well, no, I meant more like two, like
size-wise.
size, not necessarily,
monsters?
not necessarily star power. You're absolutely right, but I'm more saying like, when's the last time we had two powerhouse women with those titles and just running roughshod through the entire division?
Oh, they're perfect for it, and
Yeah.
I think it's gonna perfect setup to move Rhea and Io back into where they belong.
Yeah, probably.
And personally, I'm looking forward to that match. I know tonight, along with that match, we get Oba and The Miz.
Oh, I saw that.
We get Uncle Howdy and Solo, which
That's going to be
should be a
great.
good match. Another filler,
You know-
Jordan and Candice.
Okay, yeah.
And then lastly, I believe they're gonna have all the men
Yeah, face off
in
against
one-
each other.
in one kind of promo, all in one ring.
Yeah,
So it'll be kind of cool to see Trick and Evans in there with the
older guys.
yeah.
I mean, I still say those two are going to be the ones that have the best showcase. They're not going to win though.
Yeah.
There's no way. They're too young.
Yeah.
Like we'll definitely be seeing them go after a title here very soon, but I don't think it's anytime soon.
I didn't think of that, but very much looking forward to seeing Trick get a chance on the mic with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. That should be very interesting. Giving him a
lemon
chance
pepper
to,
steppers.
yeah, that's right. Giving him a chance to sound off on them. That's great.
He really, with every week, I keep thinking to myself, like, they really are going to push him and Oba past the mid card and go straight into the main event scene. Like, they have no intention of throwing these two into the mid card at all. That's why they're having Oba run through everybody, just so everybody knows. Yeah, nobody at the mid card could even touch this dude if he wanted to.
Well, they're such immediate stars too. I mean, they just sent Trick on the press junket run, and he did it flawlessly.
Oh, he crushed on First Take the other day.
Yeah, you don't see that. You don't see the crossover that quickly. I mean, Seth does a great job, but even when you see CM Punk go on, he's kind of a little grumpy and all that. He is.
Put him in a retirement match already. I'm so over that guy. I'm sick of this guy.
I agree with you though, and honestly, I think that is one of the biggest tells in the WWE is if they can throw you out to the media, especially big media like ESPN, and you float or you at least swim with them. Yeah, I think that was a big like boost to his career.
You're absolutely right, and it was even more so that I feel like every interview he did, there was a soundbite clippable that went viral from.
Well,
It
he's
was
just money, dude. He's just
unbelievable.
money, and I wish him and Evans would team up, because I just think that the difference. And dude, every time I watch Evans, I'm like, he's going too fast. He's going too fast. He's going to mess up one of these moves. And he amazes me every time.
He does things that no one else can do, too.
And I mean, even last week, what was it, Raw, where he looked like he was going to hit the roof of the damn building.
I still say that they need to save the cutter against El Grande Blanco or whatever from a couple weeks ago. They need to save that as a highlight reel for him.
Yeah, it should be in the intro.
Yeah,
it really should.
Insane.
But no, it's funny you bring that up, because even in NXT, when they were there together, they floated that idea of the two of them doing a tag together. Nope. They didn't even they didn't give it to us. No, because at the time Trick was kind of making this heel turn to what he is right now, and Javon was still the young up and comer that no one really knew what he was going to be yet.
21,
dude.
The future is in great shape. On the men's side, what's Roxanne, 23? Javon is 21.
Yeah.
I mean, we
so
got
going
20
back
years
to what we were
people.
talking about before you came in, do you see her pulling this out?
Who's that?
Roxanne. Or not Roxanne, Raquel.
I would like to see it. My money is on Rhea for this one, because again, I've had
if she loses the belts tonight, I think
I've had my artist heart broken enough to just vote corporate. I'm going all chalk, whatever would bring.
Easy to do.
I've been on enough shareholder calls that I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go with what would make the most sense for the stock price and go Rhea on this one.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's Triple H's girl too. So any excuse they could have to put her in WrestleMania, they're gonna use it.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, the match between her and Jade Cargill may not be the worst choice either for Jade, because it's two powerhouse women again that are major stars, and it could be the win Jade Cargill needs to boost her career and finally make this title run actually look good.
That's a great point. And Rhea is really good about providing service back to the business that way. I mean, she especially early on, she was instrumental in giving Stephanie a lift as well.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely
100%.
a great spot for her.
And I mean, if they lose the title, which I'm leaning on them losing the tag team title, it works out because they've already been seasoning stories with both of them. And I think the same thing with Bliss and Flair, but I'm sure they'll run with Nia for another month or two. And then finally, hopefully we'll get some solo matches out of them.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to pull Asuka, man. If they can somehow find a way to get Asuka or Raquel in there to win, I'll be happy.
Well, what if they have some sort of beef that happens on Saturday between Asuka and Io, and we finally get that entire storyline shut down as well? Because I mean, you're one of the ones that I keep hearing bring this up as well. They've been dangling this entire, is Kyrie going to choose Io over Asuka at some point?
Oh yeah, it's happening.
And it would make sense to me if they let that brew right after Elimination Chamber, especially if Rhea gets this title shot, and then we see Io go and finish her story, as it were, against her former mentor. So it would make sense.
Bailey back in there.
Yeah. Well, again,
they had to do something with her because
such a stacked division.
Yeah, and it's so much talent. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but there's like, you're forgetting someone every time you get these big stories going.
And there's others banging on the door. You've got Sol Ruka, Lola Vice. You've got these stars that they're coming any day now.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace is one of those as well that I think they're going to start giving her the Oba route here and just have her run through every woman's competitor she can until she inevitably gets that shot.
And I felt so bad because it's the stupidest thing. I meant to bring it up with KG, but when they had her on Monday Night Raw with her old man planking on top of the box.
Oh yes,
I'm like, what
Johnny
are they
Gargano
doing?
with this entire.
He's just moping and different.
But that's my thought, dude.
He's like the elf on the shelf now.
Yes.
The WWE.
God, Johnny on the box. Oh Lord. Are we ever going to actually see that bear fruit though? Because I think this is just going to be what they do until inevitably him and Candace decide to leave.
I think so too. But by the way, Conspiracy Christopher thought a bit more about the box. I know last time I said maybe a little Kevin Owens action, but maybe also maybe Daniel Bryan is a possibility to me. And the reason I say that is because there was this hush for a while that they were saying that the executives were were telling stars not to encourage the crowd to do the yes chant.
Mhm.
And in the last couple of weeks, it seems like a strong pivot that they've almost encouraged it, or at least winked and nodded at
I
it.
think that's because of the Bella twin coming back, though, because she is married to him.
Mhm.
So-
Nikki came back,
And I
then
don't-
Bree came back. Do we get him back?
I don't know if we get Daniel back because I think he's still technically under contract with AEW.
Is he? I thought he ran out at the end of last year.
I'm not sure. I have to actually because I haven't seen him on the show in a while, but I think he still does commentary for them every so often.
Oh, is that right?
I had a
think-
listener that said it's Carrying,
Carrying Cross would
Oh,
be
that would be
great.
and then he's
good.
also the hooded guy
Yes.
now because they've changed since the injuries. I'm like, hey,
Well, the thing is, though, he was just doing an interview the other day where Paul Heyman directly, texted him. Now, they didn't say what was on the text message. It could have just been Paul saying, hey,
Seasoning.
great to see you doing well out there. But
He just texted him a picture of Aleister Black and said, "This could be us, but you're
it
playing."
could be us.
it would be perfect.
It would be, but I still think it's Seth. And honestly, I have a bite here from Seth of him on somebody's radio show saying, my shoulder isn't healthy. And he was pushing it pretty dang hard. Let's just play it real quick so
Yeah.
everybody can hear it. This is Seth Rollins. I'm not sure what radio show he was on, but they asked him the health of his shoulder and if he's going to be participating this weekend.
I'm telling you right now, my shoulder is not fine. It is not fine. I cannot pick you up over my head and throw you anywhere, outside of my eyes. So it's not fine. But I don't need my shoulders to do my signature move. So again, I'll just leave it up to you.
So again, Seth just stirring the pot as he always does. I have a feeling, because we talked about this off the air, but I have a feeling the box is Seth. Seth will come out during the CM Punk match, ruin it for Punk in Chicago. Finn Balor wins the belt. And then on Monday, not only do we now have to wonder what does this mean for Mania, because that now means Finn Balor would be taking on Roman Reigns. But now we have the possibility of a four-way of four men who have a rich history together. Seth Rollins with not only CM Punk and Roman Reigns, but Finn Balor, because we all know the last major push that Finn Balor got for this belt was against Seth Rollins and his entire story with him about the injury the first time he ever had the belt with Seth and all that type of stuff. I think that they are brewing.
That'd be
this.
awesome. That'd be an awesome fatal four-way.
Sparky likes Finn Balor with,
I like
with
it.
the belt. Give me
I
the
do
belt.
like it.
My question,
I love
though, Finn would be going in with the belt, I would assume. Does he walk out with it?
No.
I would even assume he doesn't walk in with it. I would assume we have CM Punk come out and say, "I gave you your shot,
but
give me my shot," and
if-
they just trade it back and forth or something.
Punk does that, though, and he takes the belt away. There's no reason for Finn to be in this match anymore.
See, well, that's me. Is my heart wants the triple quadruple threat that you're talking.
Yeah. I want the four-way.
My mind doesn't let me do it. I say there's a chance they have him drop the belt to Finn to keep us guessing, but they've got 6 weeks to figure out a way to slap it back on CM Punk or something of the like.
Absolutely fair. I don't know. I like the idea of them going in with this four-way match and then somehow Finn Balor winning. And then much like I just said with Jade Cargill against Rhea Ripley, that could be the fire that the fan base has been begging for with Finn Balor for a long time now, that puts him back as not only just a main event player, but now he is a considerable threat for literally everybody on the roster.
Yeah, and I can also see the easy route, which WWE does a
All
lot,
the time.
which I can also see Dom coming out and ruining it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the other thing that I was considering as well.
And they
So,
set up Finn and Dom. I mean,
and Dom will be dropping those belts here very soon. He's
and then
got
I could also see, Finn getting that belt.
he's got a match against Viking or El Hijo del Vikingo on AAA here in the next couple of weeks, where I think he's probably going to have to drop it because it's a special no DQ match. So they'll find a way for Dom to lose. But the other side of this as well is Dom hasn't really had matches on television on WWE in months because he's being so utilized down there in Mexico. So they have to make a decision. What belt is going to be represented here? Is he going to be the AAA champion or is he going to be the Intercontinental champion?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might be right there.
And is it Oba and Brock?
I feel like that's what they've got. And this new thing where Brock is going to come out for whatever it is, 6 or 8 different dates to be open challenged. Are they really just going to have him walk to the ring and say, anybody? No?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back. Are we
Heyman will
really going to
trumpet.
do that 6
Yep.
times until they have Oba or somebody come out
I
at the
figure
last
Oba
time?
will run through the Rusev story, and that gives him 6 weeks to run through that. And,
Fair.
he'll be reaching for somebody. It's the only one that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Or
to
maybe
me.
they bring out 1 or 2 people that Brock feels disrespected by, so he just mollywops them in the ring right there and lead
That's
up.
my thought. Is the
Like
weeks
Oba's
leading
doing.
up to this?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll, like you said, him and Paul will stand out there and say, "Anybody got the balls to come out here and look Brock Lesnar in the face?" Yeah, and then
what
we
if he did it? That would be great, actually.
Kit Wilson comes out, and he says, "I'll do it," and then he laughs, F5s them, and they say, "Yeah, no," and they leave.
So
And
while
then-
we have Flail, I mean, who do you think pulls both the men and women, as well as what's the other match?
so it's Becky and AJ.
Becky and AJ.
So
Dude,
Becky's gonna lose. I'm just gonna say it now. out
just
loud.
if she does, please don't let this happen again.
I know.
I don't want to watch anymore.
For Elimination Chamber, I'm going chalk. I've got Rhea. I'm taking Cody. On this AJ versus Becky, I'm taking AJ because it seems like they've been setting up to that. But the only thing that gives me pause for that is I just don't know if AJ's going to keep up with the schedule of someone that holds the belt, or maybe we just have a short term. It probably is about time to hand this off to a newer, younger talent anyway. It's kind of what this belt has always been
Yeah.
for, either a new star, up and coming star, or a mid-carder anyway. We just had the luck over the last year and change to have Becky elevated to this level, but now it's time.
I think
And she listed all the wrestlers that she wants to wrestle before she walks away. I will be so pissed if I wake up Sunday and AJ and CM Punk both have titles. I'm like, what are we doing?
AJ for sure is going to have a title, unfortunately, because I think they're brewing Natty to get a shot at this, especially with just the constant run through of Maxine Dupree.
Oh my God, that is
And
it's
it just makes sense to me that they give AJ a shot at this for a little bit. I know she's not going to be there long, so it probably won't be a long title run, but the fan base loves her, and they need a face to hold this belt for a little bit. That's actually going to be a contender.
I don't get the whole thing for her. So
Well, the in-ring segment stuff is really tough.
it is.
Yeah.
She's horrible on the mic, and I personally don't think she's that good of a wrestler. Maybe with different. I mean, I've only been force-fed with her and Becky. So, I mean, it's the same thing with, like, I know Jordan's probably going to have a big title shot here shortly. I would expect, there's a lot. And even, I mean, we didn't bring up Chelsea. They got to do something with her, because now not only is the wrestling crowd, now the Undertaker's coming out. Everyone is coming out being like, hey.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I did pull the audio for that, because Michael Hayes has kind of walked back his comments since Unreal. I mean, he caught a lot of heat for essentially calling Chelsea Green a jobber,
and should have.
I don't think that's necessarily what he meant by it. For those who don't know what we're talking about, on Unreal, Michael Hayes, who's a longtime WWE wrestler and writer, talked about Chelsea Green, who is one of the most beloved heels in the company. Pretty much said that she doesn't hold a candle athletically to Tiffany Stratton or a Jade Cargill, but she's always that girl that they can rely on to essentially lose to Jade Cargill or Tiffany Stratton for that reason, calling her a jobber, essentially saying she'll never be a main eventer, but she's a great one to throw out there if the main eventers want to beat up on somebody.
Which is crazy, because we saw her in person. She's big,
fantastic,
big, built like athletic.
She's
champion.
gone up against Penta. Literally,
Yeah.
I mean, if you
She's a badass.
If you talk down about Chelsea Green, you clearly have no idea what she's done before WWE.
Which, by the way, I don't know the extent of her injury, but one of my, I've been very happy.
She's
with
out of the boot.
With the good. I've been very happy with the WWE writing this year as opposed to late last year. To their credit, we don't know what's going to happen next. They've been kept us on our toes and guessing. But this fake injury playing storyline, I'm not a fan. It's got to stop. We had 3 of like 4 or 5 matches on Monday Night Raw chalked up to either real or fake injury. It's getting pretty old on my side.
No, and we talked about that with KG. Is this kind of putting some bad juju on the product and the company because they're faking injuries?
For sure.
Because that is a thing. Like, if you've played sports and you know anybody who faked an injury, usually something bad happens.
Well,
after
and
that.
and as a viewer, it crosses the uncanny valley. It is displeasing to watch. Even during a match, someone grabbing their knee and writhing around as though they had some type of joint injury, even though the match goes on fine. It at least
like
to
Evans.
me, it does a little something to me that hits a distasteful spot in my stomach.
Evans sells it a lot,
Yeah.
but I mean he's young, but yeah, as soon as Bronson Reed did the breakup, I'm like, dude, he's seriously hurt.
You could
Like,
see the
see it in his
bicep
face.
roll up on him too. I went back and watched the video. It's gross. But cycling back here to Chelsea, let's play this bite real quick, Sparky. This is Michael Hayes on Undertaker's podcast recently talking about Chelsea Green and essentially what the writing room looks or sees in her.
If Chelsea caught fire because of this following and the support that she has, we'd go with that in a heartbeat. Look at Daniel Bryan. Look at Kofi Kingston when they both caught fire. Yeah, we went with it. Whether some people up top agreed with that or not, they went with it because that's what the people wanted. We're not there right now with Chelsea. And quite frankly, I feel, just my opinion, that the people that support Chelsea now, if we started pushing her, would fade because she was getting the push from the machine. And if she's getting the push from the machine, then she doesn't need my help. Because intricately, I feel that the fan loves it when they know that their support makes a difference and can change a career.
The last part of that I agree with, because we've seen it multiple times in the last couple of months, if not the last year, when it comes to guys like LA Knight, Finn Balor. I mean, they do listen to the fan base and kind of wait for the fans to demand we get this. I mean, Jey Uso, to a point before he won the title, was kind of getting that push too. So do you think that that's kind of what they're just waiting on with Chelsea, is just the fan base to get that rowdy?
I got to even take a step back. Just at first blush, just hear the first 3 seconds of the segment, not to be ageist, but as soon as you hear how he says the word Chelsea, too old to be a leader in the writer's room, right off the bat, he's out Chelsea. He had a lisp in the word in the letter D. He said fade and put a lisp on it. This guy he is a legend, but at some point legends have to go to the Legends Tour and let the studs be in the PGA Tour of this. If you go back and listen, he literally has a lisp on the word fade in the D. He's too old to be driving these storylines. So I'm not surprised he doesn't see Chelsea as a big top.
And everything, I mean, in this business, which is one of the main reasons I enjoy wrestling, it's because anything could put a spin to anything. You know, if it wasn't for Hayes saying that on the show or on the documentary, we wouldn't be talking about it. And it's all a part of the business. And I think the push that she's going to get out of this, or what she's gotten out of this, is only going to benefit her in the end.
Because it's authentic. The fans love her.
Oh, yeah.
She is easily one of the most beloved heels in the entire company. That's why I couldn't believe when I heard that and him say that she's essentially a jobber. I was like, excuse me?
Well, it's like the fans chanting, "We want Chelsea," when she's in the handicap
and she's
chair.
yelling at them, and they
like,
keep,
"I'm hurt, you jackasses."
She's a new generation star.
Like,
yeah, she's a new generation star. She gets the now and the future. I don't expect him to understand that. And also, to make his point, took 2.5 hours just to say, I don't think he's been listened to without being interrupted for way too long in his chair.
And that's why the Taker came out and said what he said.
Which I have as well, if we want to play it. But I mean, Michael Hayes, I understand, like, he's got love for her, but to also sit there and say that, oh, the fans wouldn't love her as much because the machine is pushing her. I don't think that's a fair statement.
I don't either. Can I tell you, Taker pump faked me so hard on Monday. I got so excited.
You thought he was going to get a match?
No, well, but when the lights went out and the ding happened and he came out.
He's already said the dead man's done. He's never doing that
But
again.
the first thing I thought of is, I was saying to Lexi, I was like, oh my God, so maybe he will get to wrestle again, because maybe this is the locker room leader coming out if there's one guy who can break the rule, it's the Undertaker that can say, no, you don't have to honor that thing. And I was like, here it is.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely
I might have been
fair.
the only person disappointed by the Hall of Fame
when
nod.
he said unfinished business, I was like, oh, dude, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Well, again, I was under the impression that AJ wasn't done to begin with, but now, obviously, after that entire speech and them giving him the love essentially that John Cena got, his in-ring career is done, unfortunately.
The house knows how to win. They must have given him a fat paycheck and kind of.
Oh, that's what we understand.
And
he got a contract not too long ago.
And boxed him into this thing both explicitly and subliminally. By the way, the organizations, they know what they're doing.
What do you think his job is going to be behind the scenes, though? Do you think he's just going to be a coach? Do you think he's going to be a producer? Is he going to be a writer? Personally, I think, and this would be just me being me because I love NXT. NXT just lost Ava. Would love to see him as a GM.
That'd be fantastic.
I think he would be an awesome GM for NXT.
And I'd love to see them make him like a utility player. Just plug him into a bunch of stuff. He's a multi-talented guy. Use his brain. Use him for in-ring segments. I mean, he's clearly still got it. He doesn't have to be a match, but can, interfere, whatever.
I assume the job is going to be something along the same lines that they gave John, because obviously John's not there every day, but he's kind of a advocate for the company and for some of the wrestlers. So I would assume it's going to be something along those lines, but I would really love to see him in front of a camera again.
Yeah.
I think it might be.
And we'll never know the behind the scenes, but if it were the case, what a great play by him to keep the gloves on initially to get to this. What a great
I love that
piece of business.
I loved that line. It's like, I waited to take my gloves off until I got home. I was like, okay.
If that was initially him to not take those off, to push a bit of negotiation here, what a great savvy move by a talent. It's hard as talent to go up against the business.
Yeah.
I very much appreciate stuff like that.
I know we only have about 3 minutes left, and I want to get this last story out there because we were just talking about it a little bit ago, but the Samoan bloodline not very happy with the internet right now. 73% dislike on the YouTube video of Jay winning his match on Monday. Over 20,000 dislikes, and Jacob Fatu has stepped up and said, pretty much telling everybody, just shut up, enjoy the product like you're already doing. You're going to yeet with him anyway, so why are you guys complaining? I agree with him on that, though. I don't get the hate. I really don't. I think this guy's working hard. I get that he's not the best in-ring worker right now, but the guy's also in his 40s. Like, we're talking about him as if he's a 20-year-old. Like, this guy is...
And it was on the call. It wasn't like he was... I don't think he was scheduled to win that match.
No, I don't think he was either. I think it was supposed to be Bronson.
I completely agree with what Jacob Fatu said. The problem is they've been saying it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
To where I'm, and again, I feel bad for Jey Uso now because I agree with you. I mean, he should, by the way, he should be in the chamber. He shouldn't win, but he should be one of the 6 in the chamber as far as just money making goes, fan recognition. Yeah. It's a great to have him as one of the 6. Absolutely understand that, but he was pushed too fast and into a spot that he wasn't ready for. And the masses, if you give them long enough, have an innate sense of injustice, and they're just not ready to put that down yet. And you've been telling them to shut up for the better part of half a decade. And so this is, of course, they're doing this.
I'm just wondering who he's working out with now since Braun Breaker's out with a hernia. Because I
don't know, but he looks good. He's slimming down.
Who's been getting him into shape is Braun Breaker. I was like, if there's anybody that's going to get you into ring shape, it's that kid.
I saw him when he came out without the overshirt on. I was like, he's putting in the effort. Maybe the diet changes. Maybe he's not getting hammered in the middle of the shows like it seemed like he may or may not have been doing.
He was definitely getting hammered after.
By the way, Cody Rhodes, I offer you. He's like he's like the Brett Favre of wrestling. He can do things you can't do. It seems like he just pounds whatever it is, whiskey or whatever he drinks, and is completely fine. I imagine there are many a guy who have fallen apart trying to keep up with whatever it is that he does on the tour bus.
I mean, again, I think that's just been a wrestling thing since well before them. I mean, their dads and their dads' dads and all of them were all partying way harder than just having a sip of Wheatley vodka.
I agree, but he seems like, for a new star, he seems like a special kind of talent of being able to pound liquor.
Well, and he's also the only talent there that's left and literally created a wrestling company that now rivals the one he works on.
Very true.
There's not a whole ton of people that can say that.
Yeah.
So
he won me over because I hated that guy when I started
watching.
watching.
He is the man.
And it's funny because the only other bite that I didn't get to, maybe we'll get to it with Pittser, was him on, I believe it was on Unsportsmanlike, and he was talking about how it's not a home game for him anymore. That people are booing him now, and we may actually get an authentic heel run for Cody, but I don't think it's going to be what we're hoping it's going to be. I don't think we're going to get Cody Lander, but I think we're going to get essentially a Cody that just does not care anymore.
And I don't think we need it anymore now. I think he's gotten so good he can be a tweener and just do whatever he wants.
That's essentially what I'm thinking.
It'll pop. People love him even more.
I mean, again, there's going to be people that sing the song, and then there's going to be people who boo him when he wins all the time. So,
Who would have thought 6 months ago the three of us would be equally gushing over our boyfriend Cody Rhodes?
All right. I mean, it's the hair. It's the.
I love this
you know,
business.
and when he doesn't bleach it too, and the brown starts coming back
Don't
in,
lie,
and
it's
starts
the
looking
hiney.
like
It's
put
the
on the
hiney. He did
tips.
Pilates and built up that hiney, and now you
Put the
can't.
makeup back on. I'm sold.
Oh Lord. Sir, thank you so much for your time. We have run out of it. We got to get our guy Kyle Pittser in here, but we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure, boys.
We got to take a break. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. It is a wrestling weekend, so obviously on Fridays we get to talk wrestling. Sorry if you not a fan.
Not sorry.
I'm
sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you to our friend Chris Flail for joining us. We always appreciate him. But it's now time to talk to our friends over at Dionysus. Kyle Pitser's here. Sir, good to see you.
How we doing?
Pretty dang well, sir, but not as well as you.
How you doing?
How you doing? Just like I always do, I start off with the blonde. And
Absolutely.
then I move over to a little organic. So
10 years?
Yeah, 10 years,
Dude, that's wild.
did you start when you were 18?
No kidding.
Right? I was 25 when I started.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but we're doing better than ever.
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah.
Same location, right? Or
Same location. We're pushing out more beers than we ever have.
Mhm.
I'm brewing more than I ever have. I'm the most creative I've ever been.
That's for dang sure.
We're having fun.
What are we going to have here at the celebration here in the next
All right.
month?
So the biggest project I've been working on for like 8 months. I'm not good at keeping secrets. Well, it's not
You-
secret
neither am
anymore,
I.
but
You can share all those secrets on this show whenever you want, sir. You know that.
I've been working on this Mexican lager. I've been
Oh.
really envisioning like what I wanted to showcase to Bakersfield. And then over this like 8-month period, I got really close with some of the kids from Mexicali, like the 4th generation kids.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like developed into this relationship where I'm like, hey, what if we made a Mexican lager together? So we're calling it the Mexicali Mexican lager.
Nice.
And we're only selling it at our spot and their spot. And we have it canned already. It's lagering. We won't release it until our anniversary party, but it's already a phenomenal beer. It's
Which is next weekend, right?
no,
he was saying it's the 28th of March.
Don't
Oh,
scare
that's
me
perfect.
like that.
We got a
That's my
month.
birthday weekend.
Yeah, we got a month. That's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah,
so cool. So they could buy the cans at both locations then, at Mexicali and at your guys' place?
Yep. And
What is this compared to? Is this kind of like a Dos Equis? Is this more
I
of
would
a-
say more so in like the Pacifico range.
Okay.
A little stronger. It's 5%, but
Okay.
the 4th generation kids that work there were like, our clientele is a little older.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some newer faces in here. And I was like, what if we did a cross promotional beer where
Absolutely.
we have a lot of young people that come to our spot. So why not use that to your advantage?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the reasoning behind it.
Well, shoot, you guys could go a step further. I don't know how this would work, but y'all should get the food from Mexicali over there as well.
I wish, dude.
Because as somebody
love
who
their
grew
food.
up eating Mexicali, brother, you wouldn't get me out of your beer or out of your brewery if you guys had food.
You
from
could
them.
be in the beer too, dude.
I could dive into those things fats if I want to.
I usually leave with the to go.
Absolutely.
Let me get a 6-pack on the way out.
That is really cool, though, man. I'm excited to actually try this.
Yeah, and we got we did a collab with Lengthwise yesterday. We're doing a
Cool.
collaboration with Grumpy's.
Oh, nice.
And then we did one with Reverb Coffee and
Sweet.
Woolworths that will be
Nice.
coming
Good
out
guys.
next week.
Coffee
So,
stout?
Coffee stout, with
Yes.
Reverb's Coffee. So
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
we got a lot of new stuff coming out, and that one will only be served at Woolworths. So
Okay.
we won't even serve it at our spot. So we're having fun. We're trying to, even though it's our 10-year anniversary, we kind of want to showcase other small businesses
We're
and
keeping it local.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you'll have a keg just for me, right, Sparky? Just for me in the back. Dude, that is really cool. I'm really excited for this. So on the 28th is the actual party itself. Is
Yeah.
it just going to be at the location, or are you guys going
Yeah.
somewhere?
No, so it's at our location. We're gonna have our beer garden renovated.
Nice.
We'll have a band out there. We're gonna have a DJ set, 2 different DJs. So
Sweet.
food trucks. It's gonna be fun, man. It's 10 years. I'm not trying to be too serious about it either.
Right.
Like years past, we're like, oh, we're gonna do all this. I'm like, let's just hang out.
Dude,
let's
a
have a good
decade
time.
in the game, though, is something to celebrate.
I do agree, but I didn't even think I would get this far. So I'm
Exactly.
just happy to be here.
Brother, I get that, but it's like, especially when it comes to the food industry, some of these places could be here for a year, a
Yeah.
2-year period, and
Well,
be gone.
Well, I'm
Especially-
calling out the NBA Jam tournament then.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm installing a dartboard today too.
Oh,
so
nice. Hell yeah.
No, dude, but this is a crazy great milestone for you, dude. I'm really happy for you.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
I mean, in this industry, beer's not doing too good.
No.
And I have a lot of friends in the industry outside of Bakersfield where they're having to shut down their brewery.
Mhm.
You know, it's some of these guys have really big overhead. They got big buildings, big tanks. They got a lot of employees. So luckily for me, we have a small overhead. It's me and my wife, and we're thriving. So I'm very grateful.
And honestly, dude, you like you said earlier, you keep innovating the beers, you keep bringing out new stuff, and I think that's what keeps people coming back so
100%.
much. Not to mention how good the dang slushies are.
Oh, and that's not even like the hot drink right now either.
No, well, I wouldn't think so in the middle of winter.
Let it heat up in a couple months.
Oh yeah.
Or you mean like a week?
I hope
Dude,
not,
no
man. I
kidding.
saw
It's already
60s next week. I was like, okay, we get one more week.
It's been 70s this week.
I think it's 82 tomorrow.
Is it really?
It's a little tease, you know.
Look, I'm all for the spring here in Bakersfield, but that just means the hot time is coming, and I'm not ready for that.
I'm a lizard. I love 100 degrees.
Really?
Oh,
I
yeah.
see. I can't stand
Hell
it.
no.
I can't stand it. I'd rather
no.
be cold. I would much rather be cold. Obviously, though, you'll be having a watch party this weekend for Elimination Chamber, I assume?
Yeah, Elimination Chamber.
I know the show starts at 4, so what time are you guys going to be open?
We open at 12. So
Sweet.
So I think they have like the pre-show before that. We'll have that on. We'll have sound on. We'll have the projector on. We'll have everything on. You were there on the last one.
I
It was a good
was.
time.
Bingo,
he
baby.
won.
Yeah, bingo.
Twice.
Yeah, you won twice.
Are we doing bingo again or no?
No, no bingo on this one.
No?
That's like a Royal Rumble exclusive, you
Okay.
know?
That's
Makes
what my
sense.
wife says. Is Kyle going to do bingo again? It's like, no, it's Royal Rumble bingo.
Yeah.
It'll be a little difficult to
I mean, I
do
guess
chamber.
you could do it with the Elimination Chamber, but
That's what I'm trying to think in my head is how you would be able to pull it off,
I don't
or at
know.
least a game for the Elimination Chamber, maybe not bingo. But
I could, we
everybody
could
is
think of
jumping on this bingo bandwagon, though.
I mean,
it
it
was
was
pretty
crazy.
fun, dude.
My buddy did an adult bingo at the Well Comedy Club. And I
Oh.
was like, oh, I don't
No?
know. I'm not going to participate, no, but
He said no.
Okay.
I'm too old for that, man,
We were
but-
just curious. Nobody from the well was able to tell us how it was. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
They had to
thing.
sign a contract. No one
Yes.
could talk about it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
NDAs.
but I mean, leading up to the chamber, I know we've got a couple matches tonight, so I want to hear what you think. We kind of both thought the same thing with Rio, with them going up against Lash and Naya. You think they dropped the titles tonight?
Yeah, I think they have to move them back into the singles. I think they have to drop those belts.
Well, that's definitely going to be the calling card for them to go back to the singles. I just don't know if it's going to happen now. Something tells me that we're going to get a major women's tag match at WrestleMania. And I mean like major in numbers. We're going to get all of these women together in one ring, and then that's where we're going to see some crazy stuff.
I would love to see that, but then it makes me wonder, like, who's Jade gonna face?
True.
At WrestleMania? Because like, there's not a lot of like star power. I mean, you have like Rhea, right? I mean, that's who I would think would probably best match and make the fans happy. But
Tiffy.
Tiffy is up
yeah.
there, but like
she's
we've
so
already
small
seen it though.
Like, yeah, exactly. And I want to see like brute force against brute force.
Right.
Nah, and I think that is the growing thought right now on the internet too, is everybody wants Rhea and Jade. I like the idea though of Raquel winning and then just squeezing her way into Liv's match, and somehow we make that a triple threat instead.
I would love to see that too, and see Raquel win.
I'd love
exactly.
to see Raquel or even Asuka, but I think the Asuka story is going into with Kyrie and going back with Io.
Absolutely. And I don't think she's one of those wrestlers right now that she really doesn't need a belt
No.
to be relevant.
I was just happy she was in it, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
But I'm pushing for Raquel because she's way overdue.
She is, and we almost had her title reign years ago before she had to step away because of her eczema.
Yeah.
And she has some great matches with Rhea.
Hey, I thought she was gonna win against Stephanie on that Raw.
So did I.
I was like, dude, this is a great match.
And I think that's kind of the beauty of what Stephanie's title run has been, is if you've noticed, she has really highlighted a lot of the Hispanic wrestling,
Yeah.
or at least Hispanic wrestlers on the main roster. And I think that's by choice. I think she really wanted to highlight how good some of these women can be. I'm still waiting for her to go down to AAA though. I want to see her.
Who's Stephanie?
Yeah, I want to see her go up against some of the luchadors down there and bring the belt with her. I mean, Dom has been doing it for a while now. I think Stephanie would be a great addition.
Yeah, I mean, they probably won't do that until she drops the belt, though.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
But
Put her to work out there. What about the men's?
okay, well, who do I want to win? I want Javon Evans.
Yeah,
he's gonna put on a show, right?
Could you imagine if they let him win?
It'd be so fun. It's like Kofi Mania all over again.
It really would be.
You know,
and so quickly in his career too would be crazy. Him against Drew McIntyre might actually be a really good.
It would
match.
go bonkers. I mean, when he first got called up, I was like, he's not ready. And then literally
ready.
That first it was like the next time he showed up on like the main event, I was like, oh, never mind. I'm kidding. I was a fool for thinking that.
Every time I watch him wrestle, I think the same thing. I'm like, he's speeding up too quick. He's going too fast. He's gonna mess up this, and he pulls it off every time. And each week I
guarantee you, Sparky, you're not the only one that thinks that. I guarantee you, there's producers in the back that say, "Don't you
losing
do that,
their mind?
Don't you do it?
Like, slow it down, dude.
And
Slow
he
it
does
down."
some crazy
And
things.
he's
We planned that.
He's very entertaining.
Yeah, he's great.
He reminds me of like a young Jeff Hardy or a young Kofi Kingston.
Well, and he connects with the young viewers right now.
Yeah.
He's the Gen Z guy.
Yeah.
Like, he really fits that perfect.
And he's super young too.
Yeah. Because like Trick Williams, Obafemi, they're still Gen Z, but like I kind of feel like there's more of a tweener there.
Yeah.
Like people our age can still kind of relate and enjoy that. But Javon is exclusively for the kids.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I don't want Cody to win. Do not want Cody to win.
We don't need to see Drew.
As much as I love Cody, he doesn't need to be in that match. He's had his chances. But yeah, I mean, I honestly do. I feel like they are going to push Cody because they're not going to give it to LA Knight as much as I want that too. But they need to give it to LA Knight. Just dude, give him the chance.
See, but now that Bronson's out of the match, I don't know if they even have a plan.
I like Orton.
I like Orton too.
I think Orton and Drew would be a hell of a match.
That would be a good match. That would be.
And the chase for number, what would that be for
15?
him? 15 for him?
15, yeah.
Because I guarantee you he's going to be the one to take John Cena's record.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He was talking on McAfee yesterday. He says, "Look, man, I'll do this for 10 more years if I can,
as long as he can pass."
Yeah, as long as he can pass and he can stay healthy, he'll keep doing this.
Hey,
forever.
Give me the belt for one night, and I'll drop it the next night.
Exactly. Just go back to the old school days,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
He doesn't care in that regard, but I also think it would be a great way to set up a Cody v. Randy match at some point.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Which I think a lot of the older fans, or at least the ones that have been hanging on with these guys for so long, would really enjoy.
Give me a Cody heel run. He doesn't need to be crazy about it. Just give me someone who's unhinged.
Well,
which he's kind of already there.
Did you see his comments on Unsportsmanlike the other day when he's talking about? Let's play it real quick since we were talking about it. Cody Rhodes was on Unsportsmanlike this week because I mean every wrestler was on every ESPN show. And this is what he had to say about how the fans are changing their tone when it comes to him.
I'm in a funky spot as a wrestler on the show now where not every game is a home game anymore. Started getting some Let's Go Cody. Cody sucks.
Ooh.
Started just getting some Cody sucks places.
Are you hinting at a heel turn?
No, I'm just telling you from a crowd perspective.
Yeah.
There's some games that we did one where when I was in Germany not too long ago, Bobby Roode walked up to me backstage. He goes, "They just showed you on the screen. It's going to be an away game." I thought, all right. I mean, the energy is all that matters. So it's not a thing, but there are places like Florida and there's places like Texas that you still, it's like, still feel good, you know, like we're cool still.
But
you know?
some elite athletes love to go on the road because they love when the crowd hates them.
Yeah.
How do you react to that? I
think it's the coolest thing you could possibly imagine. But I think as a wrestler, the secret is, and this is me, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, you can't change because of it. I think that's the greatest gift you can give to that fandom that is adversarial to you is, he's still doing this goody two-shoes things. He's still making the right choices. I think that's consistent, and that's what makes it so that when you go back there, that reaction might be completely flipped the next time. Is you have to be yourself. Don't let it deviate you off your path. Or if you play like a character, stay within that. For me, again, I get to play myself. I thrive on the noise, as John Cena coined it. So it doesn't matter what it is.
So I would honestly start believing that a tweener character for him is coming.
Well,
I don't think we're going to get full Cody Lander, but I think he even sees it now that it's like, hey, maybe I should play into this a little bit more and start being the guy that everybody hates.
Pissed off, Cody.
Yeah,
I would love it.
He had an interview. I don't know who it was with. He said, "Why would I turn heel and give up being the biggest baby face
Yeah. Oh, no,
of
that's-
WWE.
yeah.
Which I was like, okay, when you say it like that, like I get it, because it might be hard to go back to that if you
Yeah.
ever want to go back to that.
Well, and again, I know today's wrestling is different. You can buy merch for everybody, but traditionally the heel doesn't get the merch. He definitely doesn't get the merch sales. And there is like kind of a QB1 thing that he likes to run right now, that he is the leader of the locker room. And if you are a heel traditionally, you can't walk around saying you're a leader of the locker room. So it doesn't really fit who he is. And I think that's kind of also what he was trying to highlight in this bite as well.
It's like Roman Reigns. He's kind of a tweener now. Like,
yeah.
he was hated for so long, and then
but he's played the bad guy so well that everybody
It's
loves
like Seth.
him.
Yeah.
Seth too.
You love to hate him.
Yeah.
But you still root for him.
So the other question, though, since we're running out of time here, who's in the box? What's in the box, Kyle?
You know who it is. Was it Danhausen?
Danhausen. Yes.
Danhausen.
Danhausen would be great, but we all know that's not going to happen. Sparky's like, who the hell is Danhausen?
Yeah, no.
You made the list?
Don't say Chris Jericho.
If you're
That's all I hear.
if you're a Ghost
Karrion
fan, you
Kross.
actually might like Danhausen. But I think it's going to either be Jericho or Seth. It only makes sense that it's Jericho or Seth.
Man, watch it just be a new belt. That's a new belt.
Well, that's the other thing that people keep saying is watch this be like
It's a video game.
Yeah, the video game. It's just going to be a statue with the video game on it. It says, you can buy this today. It's just,
Yeah,
oh
it
my
lines
God.
up.
It's all marketing.
Uh-huh.
Would make sense for what they're doing.
And now
lately.
with the Bronson injury, I'm hearing more and more that the hooded guy is Karrion Kross, which we could only wish for. But
I think it's Grayson.
I thought it was Grayson until they showed him last week, and then the injury. I'm like, no, if this is a perfect chance to switch it up.
Hey, if it's Karrion Kross, that's a good turn.
That's perfect.
That's good.
Do we get Scarlett back with him though?
Yes.
I would assume they're a pairing, but
I'm pretty sure he would say no.
Well, again, I would love to see Karrion back as well, but I don't think they have any plan to do that.
Nah,
unfortunately, the
Aleister Black has ran its course.
It really has, and I don't think they like making stories for those types of characters. I mean, you see it with the Wyatt Six right now. I love what they did last week with the whole picture of Solo's face on the lantern.
We get Wyatt against Solo tonight.
That's going to be an interesting match because I think now with the injuries, you're going to need to lean on this faction in a WrestleMania sense. This has to be one of the WrestleMania matches. Is the MFTs against the Wyatt Six?
Put Nikki Cross in a match.
I don't think we're ever going to get it at this point. I don't know what. I don't know if she's choosing not to do it, but
I know she has her own side endeavors going on too.
And she was there at the at AJ's retirement, not in the getup and everything. She just looked like herself, and I was like, "Hey, wait, what the hell? Like,
this isn't kayfabe."
No, and I get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I've given on that. I don't think they have any intention of ever putting her in a match, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is at this point. My friend, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Again, go out to Dionysus this weekend if you want to go check out Elimination Chamber. They will be playing it. They'll be open at noon, and then the 10-year 28th, right?
March 28th, 12 to 9.
12 to 9?
Yep.
Fantastic. My friend, we will see you later, and we will definitely see you at the anniversary party.
Sounds good.
We got to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate you. Join us back here on Monday, as always, 7 to 9, right here on KGEO Sports Talk. And if you're looking for something to watch or listen to tomorrow, you can listen to some basketball right here as Alabama takes on Tennessee on Saturday, and then Michigan State takes on Indiana on Sunday. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. Sparky, let's go home.